This will be the end of this dual output 30 volt 3 amp supply. It's been sitting for about 10 hours with one of the two outputs outputting 20 volts at 2.5 amps. The other output is connected to an oscilloscope and a voltmeter, as well as a set of speakers, amplified speakers, from a computer. Now I can't hear anything from these speakers. Nothing at all. I'm going to power this down, and when I do you'll hear a clunk, I think. Now when I power it up, listen. Nothing at all. When I power it down, it makes a noise. Power it up, nothing at all. You can take that for what it's worth. I don't know. This is my bench voltmeter set to AC. Now, according to this, there's 40 millivolts of AC riding on the output. If I set the voltmeter to hertz, and that's pretty consistent, everything I've done. Now that's not the switching frequency. I'm pretty sure that's not the switching frequency of anything in there. I'm just showing you what the voltmeter says. This output is set to 12 volts. I'll set it to volts. And that's 12 volts by anybody's measurement. Sensitivity is set to 5 millivolts per division. The scope probe has a ×10 attenuator built in. So each division on that scope is worth 0.5 millivolts. The time base is set at 50 microseconds per division. I'll speed up the time base and you can see what that jittery pulse looks like. Now the jitter is probably my scope. There's a little bit of tiny residual. As you can see, there's no 60 cycle riding on it. I think the real test are these speakers. There's absolutely no sound coming from these speakers. When I turn it off, I'm going to push the button in a second here. You hear a distinct off. I'm going to turn it on. I just did. You heard that beeping. It was my voltmeter rescaling. There was no sound. Off again. On. We're looking once again at my bench voltmeter. I'm going to set it to record maximum. And of course, at maximum right now happens to be what the output is. I'm going to turn it off. And you see that now I don't know how responsive this meter is to a max min, but it didn't change any at all when it went off. The power supply, or the load rather, is turned off right now. Once again, I'm going to set it for max min, or max really. I'm going to turn it on. Now, I don't know what the response time of the voltmeter is, so I'll let you draw your own conclusions from all of this. I would say that this is comparable to any one of the switching laboratory power supplies that they sell on eBay. This is the end of our 4-part journey. I hope that all of us have learned something. I know I did. Thank you for listening.